Hey, everybody. I probably sound far away from the mic. That's because my head is in front of it.
Oh no, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I don't know if anyone's here yet.
Someone just clicked on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
several
Blake
people.
Grigsby!
Holy poop.
Mr. Blake.
Oh my goodness. Well, now the pressure's on.
Yeah, now the pressure's on.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Nope. Quit. Going to bed. This is going to be a live performance of us going to bed. Is it showing up on YouTube? It's supposed to show up on YouTube. Yeah. Great. Blake says thumbs up. So excellent. Well, anyway. Hi.
Hi.
Letting people filter in. We got 13 people already. Jeez, lucky number 13.
Oh my gosh. It's going up by the second.
Sure is. Okay, so I'm going to move the windows around here so we can see the time of our recording.
Yeah.
And things and stuff.
Things, also stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My nose is very itchy.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ben Ratner. Joshua. You invited 380 fans to this podcast. Thank you. People becoming fans. Oh, this is good, guys. 33 people here already. Ding!
Use guys.
Okay, so we are gonna record another episode.
Maybe if you try going to the Wheezy Waiter channel on YouTube, maybe it'll show up. Maybe it's just not pushed to your subscription. I just want to know if it's actually working.
Doesn't show up when I go to my Wheezy Waiter channel. Oh, there it is.
No.
Boom.
There you are. Okay.
Boom. Now we're up on the YouTubes. Maybe we were already up on the YouTubes.
Well, people are there.
Yeah. So now I'm seeing the chat in YouTube, and I'm seeing the chat in YouNow, although it's hard to see. There we go. There's that chat. Can I see both at the same time?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We can have it all.
We can have it all. We're not going to be able to see ourselves. That's okay.
Well, and we still need to be able to see the time on the...
Yes.
Can you shorten this window that way?
Yes.
Great.
Boom. We'll be able
Life
to see
is so
you.
good. Well, we can see me,
Yeah.
both chats, and the time on GarageBand.
Yeah. There's a lot. We need like 8 monitors.
Mm-hmm.
We can do this. Whoop.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah. Who needs any monitors?
We don't even really need to record the podcast. I think that just setting up is probably really entertaining for everyone.
In fact, we don't even need to be live. We can just have a conversation with ourselves. We should probably share it with others, though, because we are compelling.
We're pretty compelling.
Yeah, we are. So, how we doing? How we doing, everybody?
How's everyone doing on this beautiful Friday morning?
This bar is going to be in front of my face the whole time. That's okay. I'm used to being at the bar. Oh, guys.
That was a little too real.
That's the funniest kind of comedy right there.
Yeah.
Real comedy. All right. Blake's tuning out after that. Okay.
Bye, Blake.
So.
It's particularly funny when the bar is in front of your eyes. You're like LeVar Burton on Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Hey, guys. Okay, so we're going to record a podcast.
Yeah.
We do a podcast, in case you didn't know, called Story Not Story. We were up to 33 people, and now we've lost a lot. After that pun.
I think that we only lost them because they're going to invite more people to watch because they realized how quality this is.
So they shut down their computers, and they went outside to go invite people to watch?
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Anyway, it went down even more. Okay.
Bye,
Don't talk
everyone.
about it going down.
Bye, everyone.
All right, we're going to do this podcast. We do this once a week. It's called Story Not Story. We tell each other stories on the spot. We may respond to the chat. We're going to look at the chat while we're doing this. Probably not going to respond, but we might. Once in a while we respond to the chat. But
we should probably keep responding to the chat to a minimum, though, because people who are just listening to this podcast will be very confused.
Right. When we do respond, I will call out what we're responding to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but this is a podcast, audio style, that is recorded for later, and things and stuff. So.
Yep.
So.
That's a good story. Are you practicing?
Ben Ratner says, "What's a pirate's favorite mic cord? XLR." Would you want us to keep losing viewers, Ben? I should not have read that.
Oh no.
Okay. Ready? Okay.
The views went back up. See, they went and got their friends.
I know, it's very emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready to do this?
Yeah, someone asked how the baby was. I just want to point out that when Craig made his really wonderful pun a minute ago, the baby started kicking, so I think she really liked it.
Mm-hmm. That was from Badass Cookie Monster on YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she's not doing it anymore.
She's not doing it?
No, because you weren't punning anymore. She only kicks for puns.
I should make a pun. So is that not kicking? Is that her punishment?
That.
I guess not. All right.
That was really bad.
I know, but I thought she'd respond.
She only kicks for good puns.
Okay, we ready to record? Enough of this.
Yeah.
Silliness. It's time to record.
Yeah.
Here goes.
Okay. What do we do?
We do a podcast.
Oh, okay.
You ready? I'm going to start recording it.
Yeah, it's going to go away from all those windows. You're going to have to bring them back up.
Oh, no. Okay. Hey there, kind listener.
Welcome back.
I don't know if you are actually kind, but you are listening.
Rude listeners too. Hi, welcome back.
Hey, we take all kinds here.
Yeah, we're really not that picky.
Mm-mm.
We're just just trying to make it in this podcast world. What are we doing here?
We do a show called Story Not Story. They probably know that because
you did click on it.
Yeah.
You kind of had to mean it to end up here.
We tell each other stories on the spot, bedtime stories. I mean, they could be for any time, but bedtime's probably optimal.
Sure.
And we take listener submissions for stories.
Do. How do we take listener submissions?
Oh, lots of ways.
Okay, well, that's it.
Yeah.
Just figure out a way.
Go to your rooftop and shout an idea. We live in Texas, so just orient yourself towards Texas.
Yep.
Shout and maybe throw in a yee-haw.
Yeah, that helps carry the idea so that we can hear you.
I mean, yeah, and everyone knows that yee-haw moves sound through Texas faster.
That is, I saw an article about that in the
Texas Weekly?
Scientific American?
Weekly?
Okay. Texas.
Okay, it's Scientific American Weekly, Texas.
Yeah.
Anywho, we also have Twitter. We're Stories in Bed on Twitter. Facebook.com/StoryNotStory. StoryNotStoryPodcast@gmail. Lots of places.
So many places.
Yeah. But also we give priority to the Patreon supporters. So Patreon.com/StoryNotStory.
Now, that's not to say that if you don't support us on Patreon that you'll never get your suggestion told, because we very often choose just regular email submissions and all of that. Mm-hmm. But when a good one comes in through the Patreon pipes,
oh boy,
we're gonna snag it up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows what I'm saying.
I think I know what you're saying. You're not being very subtle. I think I get it.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, much like we pick up those story submission ideas from patrons.
Oh, bringing it back.
Oh, I don't know if we ever left. So let's do our stories today. Enough of this.
Enough of this riffraff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you went first last week, so I will go first this week, I guess.
Yes.
Walking over these hot coals of imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying.
It doesn't make imagination sound very intriguing.
No, it's really uncomfortable.
I would say walking over cold pillows of not too cold, like temperate pillows of imagination.
Everybody does like a cool pillow though when you're going to sleep. You know, sometimes and then it'll get warm and then you'll flip it over the other side, the cool side of the pillow, and you'll be like,
I love that. I do that all night long.
Is that why you sleep so poorly?
Yes.
Aw.
Incidentally, Temperate Pillows of Imagination, name of my novel.
Really?
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
2000 and blah. So, are we okay? We're gonna do how about this? Can you tell me a story, Chyna?
Yeah.
Tell me a story about from Dave. Who did he email us?
He emailed us, and he called us Lord and Lady Benzine, which I really, really like.
I'm assuming I'm Lady Benzine?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I lord over you.
Yes, you do. Anywho,
this has become a podcast about the problems in our marriage.
Yes. With the longest intro ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, could you tell me a story, Chyna, about... well, this is what Dave says. He says, have either of you heard the tale about the peg-leg penguin who thought he was a dog? I've heard about it, but I've never been able to track down the story itself.
Ah, yes. This is a classic story.
I've never heard of this story.
Well, I've heard about it, and in fact, it's a story passed down through the generations in my family. It was never written down because we don't like to write things.
You don't know how to write, do you?
Okay, I didn't want to get into this, but yeah, no one in my family ever learned how to write. We know English and we can read. It's very weird that we can't write.
Yeah. Because
we can do all the other aspects of language. But, yeah, so we don't know how to write. And
hey, this isn't a story about your
really
family.
Hard,
your family's problems.
I'm getting there, okay.
Okay.
So anyway, but this story is actually based on true events. Way back in the day.
What like when?
Way back in 1802.
1802?
Yes.
Wow, that is a long time ago.
I know, way back in the day.
So it was during the day, this story?
Well, sometimes it was during the day, but then also sometimes it was at night.
Okay. So
my great, I don't keep track of like family tree.
Okay. So this is a family story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already said that.
Okay. I didn't think you were serious.
Oh, no, I was dead serious.
Okay.
For the rest of our lives, take everything that I say absolutely seriously.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my great grandmother
sure
was a penguin raiser.
Penguin raiser? Does that mean like someone who raises penguins from the dead?
No, not like zombie penguins. Like
or she was like a sharp knife that shaped like a penguin.
It's oh my gosh. It's like with livestock, when you have like cows and chickens and goats and stuff, but just take away the cows and chickens and goats and instead put penguins there. It's that.
Okay.
You are very dense.
Okay. Would that be like a penguin farmer?
Well, you're not farming. You're not like planting them and growing them.
Okay.
You're what do they call it?
Like a breeder?
No.
Or a
No.
Oh, okay. I'll be quiet. Let's all just be quiet.
Animal husbandry.
Animal husbandry
is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, but with penguins in Canada.
Okay.
I'm assuming they have penguins in Canada.
Well, it's really cold there, so yes, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's probably the preferred place.
Back in 1802, they definitely did, because this is a true story from my family.
Okay.
So anyway, she was the best penguin raiser in all the land in Canada and in the world.
She was the best penguin husband?
Yes.
Okay.
She was a very good husband to these penguins.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So anyway, she would raise them and take care of them and feed them and everything. Really, the penguins were raising their own penguin babies, but every once in a while, something would happen. One of the penguin parents would, like, die tragically or whatever. Ooh. I know, this is not necessarily a happy story.
Yours usually aren't.
I know. I am just such a dark person.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, in those instances, she would have to take the penguin eggs and raise them from hatchlings. And one day, she had this penguin egg that she was like incubating and keeping it warm, and she knew it was about to hatch. It began to hatch, and she waited and waited, and then the baby hatched and came out, and they discovered that this penguin, for some reason, was born with only one leg, which was very unusual. She had never seen this happen before.
So, like, is it a leg, or is it like a flipper? What do they call it?
Well, it's like a leg with a little, like, a webbed foot on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
It's not really a flipper, though.
No.
You don't really know a lot about penguins. I do, because it's in my family.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in most cases in the wild, a penguin with only one leg, it doesn't happen very often. Most of the time it's from some sort of, like, accident or encounter with a predatory animal or whatever. But most of the time these penguins wouldn't live very long because they can't fly or anything, and they have to be able to get around, and if they've only got one leg, well, what the heck are they going to do?
It's pretty tough to have one leg.
Yeah.
I think in any situation.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to have two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also having useless arms.
Yes.
You know?
That's really rough.
You just have one functional appendage. It's not a good time.
No.
But she, felt a responsibility to this particular penguin, so she decided that she was going to help him. She named him Joe. Mm-hmm. Joe the penguin.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, and she.
Wait, what was her name?
Great grandma Etta May.
Etta May.
Yeah.
It's a very classic grandma name.
Yeah. Sounds like a grandma, right?
It does.
It makes my story, it lends credibility to my story.
Yes. I didn't believe it until now.
Yeah. See, now you know that I'm telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So Grandma Etta decided to just raise Joe and figure out how to help him get around with only one leg. And she tried a variety of things. She would carry him around in a little pouch and everything while she was going around doing her other penguin duties.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day she got the bright idea to try to make like a prosthetic leg for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so she made this little like peg leg that fit over the like leg stub that didn't quite develop and everything, and it had like a a flat piece on the end that kind of acted like a webbed foot.
Sure.
And put it on him, and of course Joe didn't know what to do with this. He just fell right on his face because he'd never.
Yeah. You know what I'm wondering now?
Yeah.
I'm wondering what penguin husbandry.
Yeah.
How is she like? When you're breeding animals or whatever, it's for a farm. It's for you're selling them, or like how is she making money? Why would you even do penguin husbandry?
Well, you're not having. She's not selling them. They're not like a food animal or anything like that. Actually, they run a little zoo of sorts. So they're just like rescuing penguins and caring for them and then releasing them back into the wild. But when they have them in care, they're running a zoo, and people can pay a nickel to come and see the penguins.
That's how they get the Benjamins.
Feed. Yeah.
Well, what would they call them in Canada? They would call them the toonies. That's how they get the toonies.
I think a Benjamin and a toonie are very...
Well, back then, money was different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how they made all their money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, while she was taking care of Joe and trying to teach him how to use his new prosthetic leg and everything, she had to keep him inside with her so that she could take care of him because he needed a lot more care. He couldn't really just be out with the other penguins.
Sure.
And a thing I haven't mentioned yet about Grandma Etta is that she also loved dogs. And she had a lot of dogs. Like 2 of them.
Whoa! That's double what we have.
I know. It's so many.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she had these 2 dogs, Click and Clack. Mm-hmm. And they...
What? Click and Clack?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the famed podcast.
Okay.
You didn't know those guys were dogs, did you?
These are the same? One and the same? Of Click and Clack?
Yeah.
They used to be dogs, and they were
lived a very
over 200 years old?
Yes.
That's the most amazing thing about this story so far.
I know. We need to go update their Wikipedia page.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
How did you know? What? How? Why? How did they?
In my family.
They weren't always. They changed into humans after being dogs,
They
right?
did, yeah.
Okay.
They were also wizards. They were...
What, they were wizards?
Yeah, because...
This is a fantasy story?
Wizards can turn into animals, some of them.
Yeah.
Can.
Yeah. Sure, of course.
Like Sirius Black turned into a dog?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that unbelievable, Craig. So anyway, Click and Clack. We're living inside with Grandma Etta and Joe the penguin.
Could they talk? Could Click and Clack talk?
Well, but Grandma Etta didn't know that. They were undercover. Grandma Etta wasn't a wizard.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah. Couldn't let the muggle know.
All right. I mean, I have so many questions now about Click and Clack, but go ahead.
I'll come back to that never.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So anyway, Joe's living inside with these dogs, and the dogs are very. They kind of take on like a caring role toward Joe, and as a result, as Joe is growing up, he's interacting more with these dogs and with Grandma Etta than he is with other penguins.
Uh-oh.
And he gets a little confused, let me tell you.
Confused peg-leg penguin.
He begins to think that he's a dog, because that's who he spends most of his time around.
No, I forgot that was the premise of this story.
I also did, until I remembered I needed to force it in there.
Okay, yeah. All right.
So anyway, what happens is that eventually Joe gets pretty good with his prosthetic leg, and Grandma Etta decides, it's time for Joe to go back out and try to live with the other penguins and get reintegrated into the group. And she knows that she's never going to be able to release him into the wild like she is with a lot of these other penguins. But it's important for him to be around other animals of his species and get that like bonding that penguins have.
Sure.
So anyway, she starts taking him out for like play dates basically with the other penguins, and then as the weeks and months progress and he's getting more used to being out there, he's sleeping out there overnight and staying with the other penguins and all of this. But what she doesn't know, because she doesn't speak penguin, is that...
But Joe does.
No, Joe also doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
Because he hasn't really been around other penguins.
Right.
He's actually having kind of a hard time fitting in.
Aww.
Because he's trying to interact with these other penguins from the perspective of a dog.
Right.
And the other penguins are like, who do you think you are?
So
you are not a dog, you're a penguin. You look like a penguin.
Can you give an example of how Joe tries to interact as a dog?
Yeah, well, so first of all, Joe, despite only actually having one leg, tries to walk around on four legs. So he tries to use his wings as front legs and like bend over and walk. It's very, very funny to see.
Oh yeah.
If Grandma Etta had Instagram at that time, whoo boy, foof. It would have been hilarious. But she didn't, because it was 1802. So he tries to walk around like a dog, and he like rolls around. What kind of sounds? He tries to mimic like barking sounds and like growling and stuff, but penguin vocal cords aren't really the same as like dog vocal cords, so it doesn't really come out sounding.
Right? I'm wondering what it sounds like.
Well, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
But I did hear.
Okay.
This has also been passed down.
Okay.
That it sounded kind of like, I don't really know what sound a penguin makes to begin with.
It doesn't matter. No one does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounded kind of like,
So that's a penguin trying to sound like a dog.
Yes.
That's totally what I would imagine.
Yeah. It's very believable, isn't it?
I would imagine more short bursts, like a bark, though. Like,
well, that was like when he was trying to growl. Sometimes if he was trying to bark, he would be like,
very active tongue. It sounds like that penguin has.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You nailed it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. So anyway, Joe starts. He's just not fitting in with these other penguins, and he really misses Click and Clack, and he misses Grandma Etta, And so he starts trying to sneak back inside at night when everybody's asleep. And Grandma Etta will wake up, and he's in the living room, curled up with Click and Clack. And she's like, what are you doing in here? You silly Joe, you get back on outside now. Because she's a grandma, and that's how they
She sounds like she's from the South, not from Canada, really.
Well, it's Southern Canada.
Southern Canada. Okay, yes, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's originally from there, but she lives in Northern Canada at the time of this story because it's colder and penguins.
Yeah, penguins need to be in the cold.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Apparently.
gotcha.
Yeah. So, yeah, but eventually, sorry, the story's getting kind of long. It goes on for a while. Joe lives to be a very old penguin.
That's good.
Yeah. And eventually, Grandma Etta just...
Not as old as Click and Clack, though.
No.
Okay.
Grandma Etta, she just gives up, and she's like, you know what, Joe? If you want to be inside here, I think you're just the houseiest house penguin I ever did see.
Did she say Tarnation as well?
Tarnation.
She did. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And so she just let Joe inside, and he could kind of come and go as he pleased, and they lived a long and happy life together.
Even though he didn't need to fit in with the other penguins.
No, he didn't. He found his place, and he was his own unique individual.
That's great.
And they were best friends, Grandma Etta and Joe. They were best friends, and they died at the exact same time.
What?
So neither of them
year?
Ever had to live without the other.
Aww.
It was...
I mean, it's sad that they died, but most people would be dead that lived in 1802.
Sure.
Aside from Click and Clack.
Yeah. Well, one of them is dead now.
Well, yeah, but they
lived for a very long time. Yeah.
Yes.
They both died in 1824. Yep.
Okay, so the 22 years after this story took place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know
I was kind of hoping it would be longer, but that's fine. That's good.
Well, she was already a grandma.
I don't care.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 1834.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. And what happened to Click and Clack?
They started a podcast or a radio show called Car Talk, and they learned a lot about cars when they got invented.
Okay.
And it was great. It's a great show.
Yeah.
You guys should listen to it.
They laughed a lot.
Yeah, they did.
I bet.
Yeah. And as a result, we laughed a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should maybe try to talk more like the Click and Clack.
I don't know if that's exactly how they talk. That was pretty good.
I think that's pretty much how they talk.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the name of your story?
Joe the Peg-Leg Penguin Dog.
Joe the Peg-Leg Penguin Dog. That's the name of my second novel.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. I plagiarized off of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Joe the Peg-Leg Penguin Dog.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's the end of my story.
That's good.
All right.
You want to write down the name of that?
Sure.
Joe the Peg-Leg Penguin Dog.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. This has been Story Not Story. Thank you for listening. We will see you. What?
It is your turn to tell a story.
Oh. That's right. I got to tell a story.
Yep. And do you want to know what you got to tell a story about?
What am I going to tell a story about?
Well, this suggestion comes from one of our Patreon patrons, Joel Wright, who said, tell a story about a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on their competitors.
Tell a story of a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on their competitors.
That is literally what I just said.
I'm just repeating. Sometimes people need... I heard that, you need to hear something 7 times before you remember it.
It's a story about a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on their competitors.
A story about a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on his competitors, you say?
That's what I said.
Their competitors.
Yeah, maybe I should repeat it again since you messed it up. A story about a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on their competitors.
All right, well, listen. I just happen to know and have lived... I mean, I had similar experiences as a young boy. So I could speak from experience?
Sure.
So I'm going to tell you a story of a young boy who gets recruited by a bakery to spy on their competitors.
Okay. I can't wait to find out what this story's going to be about.
How many times have we said that now? 5?
I don't know. Enough, probably.
No, you need to say it 7 times. Anyway. Listen. Once upon a time, there was a boy. There was a young boy. Okay? Uh-huh. He wasn't just like an average-aged boy.
He was young.
He was young. So he was like... So average-aged boy, what would you say? 12?
Probably 12.
13?
Yeah.
So he was more like 8.
Whoa.
Young.
Right?
Young boy. And, well, you see... He was known as being a good spy.
Oh, really?
Around the school, he was kind of a tattletale. If you must know.
I must.
Not many people like a tattletale.
No.
You know, even though people in authority like tattletales because they tell them what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Although a tattletale will turn on them too.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to tattle everything. Tattle, tattle, tattle.
Just a tattle, tattle, tattle.
Yeah. So this boy, his name was Tyler the Tattletale. That was his nickname was Tyler the Tattletale, but his actual name was actually Taylor. So anyway.
Wow, that's very confusing.
Yeah, it is.
Is he going to go by Tyler or Taylor in this story?
Whatever I decide in the moment. So young Tyler, he was out on the playground one day, and Jacob Smiley was with a group of boys over by the twirly slide.
Uh-huh.
You know, the slide that goes around in a circle.
Yeah.
I hate those slides because they're so staticky. I get shocks on them, and then the seams where they're made, they're bumps and they hurt.
They do hurt.
Just like on water slides, if they're not well-made water slides, anyway.
It's just not fun.
Sorry.
It hurts.
I had to go off on a sidetrack.
I understand. This is important to talk about.
Yeah. Anyway, they were hanging out over behind the slide, actually, like underneath it.
Uh-huh. Can't wait to find out what happens.
They were smoking.
No.
Yeah.
They were
smoking
young.
salmon.
Oh.
They were taking fish and they were putting them on a spit.
Uh-huh.
And smoking them. I don't know how you smoke fish, but that's what they were doing.
That was a very misleading way to start your sentence.
I'm sorry. Are you telling the story?
They were smoking.
Yeah.
Salmon.
Yes, they were. They were smoking it.
Okay.
But you see, they're not supposed to be smoking salmon on the playground. That's dangerous. That involves fire.
Yeah, sure.
And immediately, young Taylor runs to the teacher who's overseeing the playground, but she's not very good at it. Obviously, there are kids smoking salmon, and she doesn't even notice it.
Uh-huh.
And you know why? Because she was around the corner smoking a cigarette.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mrs. Petersburgle.
Mrs. Petersburgle.
Mrs. Petersburgle was smoking a cigarette around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor runs around. Mrs. Petersburgle quickly, she knows that Taylor's a tattletale, so she hides the cigarette and like holds her breath because there's smoke in her mouth.
Uh-huh.
And Taylor, did I call him Peter? No, I said Petersburgle. Yeah, Taylor was running around the corner.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, Mrs. Petersburgle, oh my God, Jacob Smiley and a bunch of boys are smoking salmon underneath the slide. And she's like, Taylor. That's what she said in her mind, but she was actually like, because she was holding smoke in her mouth.
Right.
Yeah. But if she were to say it out loud, she'd sound like this, Taylor. Because when you smoke a lot, you get gravelly voice and you sound like you're from the East Coast.
Yeah, that's how all smokers sound.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I don't smoke.
I know. You don't want to sound like you're from the East Coast.
No. No,
because you're not from the East Coast.
Yeah, that would be disingenuous.
You're from Texas. Yeehaw. Anyway. she's thinking, oh, Taylor. No, she's saying, she's thinking, oh, Taylor, tattling on the boys again. And
she's still not concerned about them smoking salmon?
Well, she's a little concerned about that as well. But she doesn't care that much. She's not a good teacher.
Right.
But anyway, she tattled. So then Mrs. Petersburg has to go down and talk to them. So she goes down to the boys, and she's like, hey. It must be cold. You could see my breath for a second. Hey, Jacob, you need to stop that right now. Taylor. He's like, what? Who told you? Taylor, of course. He's like, Taylor. And so she sends Jacob to detention, to the principal's office.
Sure.
And principal's like, hey, Jacob, listen, this is the 4th time we've caught you smoking salmon. He's like, no, I was smoking walleye before. Yeah. And he's like, it doesn't matter. You can't smoke anything. Principal Smithtown, that's his name.
Okay.
He said, you have to go home. We're sending you home for a few days.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna deal with your parents.
Whoa.
So Jacob goes home, but he doesn't really go. Well, he goes home, but connected to the home is the family bakery.
Okay, I was wondering when the bakery was going to come in.
See, that's why he's so interested in smoking fish, because it's a culinary family. Really.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and smoked fish goes really well with fresh baked bread.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah.
He learned how to smoke fish from his dad. So he goes to his dad. He's like, I gotta be here. You gotta be in school, son. And his dad, whose name is Dad, actually.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. He's like, I just didn't feel like thinking about another name. Anyway, he says, Jacob, what did I tell you about smoking fish in school? You only smoke fish at home. That's the rule. And he's like, but I just wanted to practice. Like, what? And he's like, Taylor told the teacher. Taylor did. That kid's a tattletale. And then he's like, the Johnsonvilles just opened a bakery across the street, and everyone loves their what's that bread called?
Hot buns.
Their hot buns. Yeah, everyone loves their hot buns.
I've heard about their hot buns. They're supposed to be really good.
Yeah, the Johnsonville hot buns?
Uh-huh. Classic.
This is before the brats, the Johnsonville brats. Are you aware of the brats?
Oh, I'm aware of the brats. I think they were invented to put on the hot buns.
They were. That's later, though. That's a different story.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's like, I need to figure out the recipe for those hot buns. And Taylor's just the man to do it. But Jacob's like, but you can't ask him to do that because it's illegal and he'll tell on you. Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to make him think that it's legal, Dad said.
Uh-huh.
And then, so after school, Tyler, the tattletale, is walking home. And Dad walks out from the bakery, from Dad's bakery.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, wait, what did I say Jacob's last name was?
Smiley.
Yeah, it's a Smiley. It's Dad's bakery, but
Dad Smiley.
Dad Smiley walks out, and he's like, Taylor, get over here, please. And Tyler, is the tattletale, is like, well, I'm not supposed to talk to this. You know me. My name is Dad. I'm basically like talking to your dad. And he's like, actually, you're right. I do know you, Dad Smiley. My dad buys your hot buns every day. And he's like, yeah, speaking of my hot buns, I may have to discontinue them because someone else is selling supposedly better hot buns across the street.
I just like that this dad is talking to a young boy about his hot buns.
Yeah, what is that? So? It's food.
It's just interesting.
I don't get what you're saying.
It's
anyway,
just very interesting.
So So Dad,
Uh-huh.
he's like, listen, we already, see, you interrupted me and I forgot what I said. So,
Sorry.
Jacob said, or not Jacob, that's his son. Tyler the Tattletale says, what? Discontinue your hot buns? The other ones can't be better. Oh, really? Maybe you should go find out for yourself if they're better. And then find out why they might be better. Why other people might think that they're better.
Uh-huh.
Particularly the people who cook them.
Yeah.
He's like, but how am I supposed to find out how the people that cook? Ask them. Ask them what they do to make them taste so good. And maybe then grab their recipe book.
Ah.
But that would be stealing, Dad. No, that's not stealing, Tyler the Tattletale. And he's like, but yeah, it is. It's like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. And they go back and forth for a little while, and then Dad gets really loud and goes, no, it's not. Here's a free hot bun. And he's like, this hot bun is so delicious, I forgot what we were talking about. I'm going to go do the things you asked. And then Tyler the Tattletale goes to the Johnsonville bakery, and he walks inside. It's crowded. It is crowded. So crowded that there's another syllable in the word crowded.
Big line at the Johnsonville bakery, huh?
Yeah, and everyone's talking about the hot buns. The hot buns are hot. They are hot buns.
Literally?
Well, they're also literally hot as well. That's
Fresh.
why they're called hot buns.
Yeah, fresh out of the oven.
Right.
A hot bun sounds really good right now.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not that hungry, but yeah, it does.
I'm kind of hungry.
Well, I'm sorry I'm telling you this story then, but we have to get through it.
Okay.
So, there's a line. He has to wait in line, and everyone's like, have you had the hot buns? Hey, Sonny, I'm here for the hot buns. You should try the hot buns. Everyone's like that. Everyone talks like they work for the press in the 1930s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What year is it?
1945.
Okay.
The war had just been won.
So probably some of these people had worked for the press in the 1930s.
Yeah. That's why they talk like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And the war had just been won, and it's sort of everyone just making babies and eating hot buns, you know?
That's the life.
It is. Well, yeah, but you had to get through war to get to that life. I mean, not a good. So they've seen some stuff.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
It's not.
I'm not saying it's all good. I'm just saying at that moment, making babies and eating hot buns doesn't sound so bad.
Doesn't sound so bad. Nope. Anyway, Tyler the Tattletale. Tyler the Tattletale is waiting in line, and he's waiting a long time. And he gets up to the counter, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, may I have one of your hot buns?" And he's like, "Sure, that will be 10 cents." And Tyler's like, "Oh, I don't have any money." And he's like, well, sorry, buddy. You can't have it." And he's like, okay, but why are they so good? Everyone's saying they're so good. Why are they so good? And the guy behind the counter, Ralph Macchio.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's Italian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's like, well, the secret's love. And Tyler's like, cut the crap. That doesn't make any sense. Why are they good? Well, the secret's love and a lot of sugar. And then Tyler's like, oh, can I see the recipe book? And he's like, no. And Tyler starts, he didn't like his tone. He was very mean when he said no, and Tyler starts to cry.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, I can't deny a boy, a crying boy. And so he's like, all right, he's just a kid. It's fine. It doesn't. And then he hands him the recipe book.
Wow, this guy is pretty easily manipulated.
Well, he's like, he probably can't even read. What's this gonna mean? What does it matter? He can't even read.
Yeah, Because he's so young.
Yeah, exactly. And so Tyler takes the recipe, crying, and wiping his eyes with the recipe, he goes over to Dad's bakery.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I couldn't eat them, but they said it has a lot of sugar. Well, mine have a lot of sugar, says Dad.
Oh, jeez.
And, well, they also have love. Oh, see, I didn't put any love in mine because I hate making them.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It is a pretty complicated process, though.
Yeah, and Tyler hands him the recipe book, or the paper that has the recipe on it, and it's all smudged from his tears.
Oh, no. What are they gonna do?
Dad's like, well, I guess I could try this love thing. And so he tries to smile a lot while he's making his hot buns.
Uh-huh.
And putting a lot of sugar in them.
Uh-huh.
And while smiling so hard, like his eyes water from all the smiling. Oh. And he too begins to cry as he's making them. Next day, he brings out his hot buns, and he starts serving them. Mrs. Piddlemore, Mrs. Piddlemore comes in, and that's the first name that came to my mind. And she's a regular. She has even though Johnsonville's hot buns are so good, every day she comes to Dad's bakery to get hot buns.
Well, it's got a lot shorter line too.
Yeah, well, that's part of it.
To
be honest with you, that's part of it. Yeah.
She lives a busy life.
Yeah, she does. And she's like, Dad, may I have a hot bun? And he's like, oh, sure. I put extra love in him today, Mrs. Piddlemore. And he gives her a hot bun. And she takes a bite. And she spits it out. She's like, what is this salty crap? And she walks over to Johnsonville.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then Dad decides to maybe try other recipes instead of hot buns. And the next day, for the first time, he serves Jacob's smoked salmon. And it does pretty well.
All right.
People like it, and his business survives. Johnsonville does a little better, and then they come out with the brats, and they become really famous. But Dad's bakery survives, and it does fine. And Tyler the Tattletale grows up to be director of the FBI.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
under Eisenhower.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's the lesson here? I feel like Dad maybe should have learned a lesson.
Well, he did. Yeah, he learned a lesson. He should be himself. Do what he wants.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Smoke some salmon.
Yeah, or be your son.
Be your son.
Yeah, or maybe what you need is right in front of you. And think outside the box. Don't just do what other people are doing.
Yeah, and don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Don't put all your hot buns in one bucket of tears.
And if you try to steal a recipe, you might kill 2 buns with one
salmon. Yeah, okay, anyway.
What's your story called?
Wait, if you try to steal a What?
I don't know. We were going to just blow past it, and now we're back.
Oh, sorry, I had to analyze that. Anyway, my story?
Yeah, what's it called?
Tyler and the Hot Bun Fiasco.
I like it.
Tyler and the Hot Bun Fiasco. We do a lot of the name and the titles.
They're compelling.
They're pretty good. Tyler and the Hot Bun Fiasco. Yeah.
It's especially interesting because this kid's name is Taylor.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but his nickname is Tyler the Tattletale.
I know. So. It's just very hard to follow.
Well, no, I think we got it.
We got it.
Yeah, you followed.
I followed.
Yeah.
I'm right here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
What?
Another hit of an episode in the bag.
I feel like we nailed it.
We nailed it.
So...
Thanks for your suggestions.
Yeah.
Guys. And send in more suggestions. I mean, we got a lot of suggestions, but we always love getting new ones.
Yeah.
And
And we have many more stories to tell that we haven't made yet.
Yeah, like at least 5 more.
At least.
Minimum.
Well, minimum 1 more. Minimum none more.
Sure.
I mean that, but we have a lot.
Probably more than just
probably many
none.
more. Yes.
Yeah.
You can send your story suggestions to storynotstorypodcast@gmail.com. You could send them to our Facebook, facebook.com/storynotstory.
Yeah.
Twitter, Stories in Bed. And our Patreon page. If you really want to bump your story suggestion up a notch, you can support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/storynotstory.
Should we tell them about the new perk that we're thinking of introducing?
There's one perk on there that we should re-mention, which is once a month you just get an extra story.
Yeah, we tell an extra story.
Just for you patrons. And we just came up with a new perk idea, which we haven't put on the page yet. We don't know what level it will be.
But we're going to work on it, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks have it up.
Yeah, every time we sit down to record these, we do a test recording, or several.
Several test recordings before we actually start recording the podcast.
And they usually yield hilarious results.
They're pretty wonderful, and we think that should not go to waste.
I've been deleting them, but instead I'm going to save them and give them to patrons for a perk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
It'll be great.
It'll be great.
It'll be great.
Yep.
That's my Scottish accent.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that concludes this week's episode of Story Not Story. Hey, if you like our podcast, why don't you tell your siblings about it?
Tell your grandma and your great-great-great-great-grandma, and maybe if you have immortal dogs, tell them.
Yeah, if you have a great-great-great-great-great-grandma named Etta May, especially, tell her, even though she's probably dead.
On that note, I hope you have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good night. Done recording.
Yeah.
We still are streaming live, though.
Oh, yeah. We're here.
We're here, guys.
We're in it.
What'd you think of our Story Not Story? Sode. That's short for episode.
Yeah.
I saw someone ask, I'm going to address this. A while ago, someone asked, why am I not making videos anymore?
You are making videos.
I put a Wheezy Waiter video, a very normal style Wheezy Waiter video up yesterday on the Wheezy Waiter channel.
And you're making videos.
I think
like
the problem here might just be the subscriber system on YouTube, or you just don't go check your subscriptions, or nothing's the problem. Let's just go about our lives and be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is still making videos.
Yeah.
On the reg, and they are great.
Yes. Congratulations, Chyna, on the pregnancy.
Thank you.
So we're at 53 minutes on this live stream. Let's see if we can go to a full hour.
Okay. What are we going to do for the next 7 minutes?
We're going to talk to them. So, yeah, tell us things, and we'll tell you things back at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, it's 2:04 p.m. right now. I have to go right after this. Pretty soon after this. I'm going to color correct the short that I've been working on for a while. That with new form, which hopefully could become a web series like I've done before.
We're hoping.
Or a regular series, whatever kind of series. Am I using crayons to color correct? I could, but that would only be very temporary and depend on the screen that I'm coloring. I wanted it to be on multiple screens, so I probably won't go with crayons.
Probably not crayons.
No.
Obviously colored pencils.
Angie was wearing a shirt I signed for her yesterday. Nice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope it was a shirt that she wanted you to sign, not just like a shirt that you just like ran up to her while she was wearing a shirt. I started coloring on
it. I do that like 5 times a day.
I know.
So it's very likely.
Our legal fees are through the roof.
That's how I got most of my subscribers, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they were like, this guy wrote his name on my shirt. I'm gonna look this jerk up.
I would say like 1% of those people end up subscribing, and then the rest kind of they call the cops.
So you've done this lot.
Legal actions are taken sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a Driftless Pony shirt. Nice. That's my band, Driftless Pony Club. Someone has asked you how many months pregnant?
I'm not good at months.
Uh-huh.
I am 24 weeks and 4 days pregnant, so I think it's about 6 months.
Yeah.
There's like 3 months left.
Yeah.
I don't know months. Everything changes developmentally week to week really quickly, so you usually talk in weeks.
Yeah. Oh wait, another question someone had was cravings.
Cravings?
Yeah.
Well, right now I really want a hot bun. I don't even really know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like a really warm, buttery dinner roll.
Sounds about right.
But it could also be like sort of a cinnamon roll situation. And
I was thinking
what?
sweet, dessert style.
I would take either one.
Okay.
Cravings, though, in general, have I had any cravings lately?
Not lately, other than actual normal food.
Yeah.
What we normally eat.
Yeah, I just want food.
There was one night where you demanded we go to get gourmet pickles. Like, we went to Whole Foods and got fancy pickles because you needed fancy pickles.
I needed them so bad.
Yeah.
And then we got home. I had one of them.
Yeah.
And then I've never had another one. They're just in the fridge.
We still have those?
We've got so many pickles.
Eat more of those.
But I don't want them anymore.
Yeah, fine.
I know.
Someone says with Nutella, the hot buns. No, I'm allergic to hazelnuts.
We can't have Nutella.
I've never had it. I have accidentally had it in coffee, but I didn't swallow it.
Yeah, this is a fun little story about how Mike Falzone tried to kill you.
My friend Mike Falzone, who's a YouTuber.
Yep.
And he was on SourceFed and stuff, if you don't know. Where are you, if you don't know? Anyway. We were at Buffer Festival, and it was his birthday. And we were walking around Toronto. Saw a few peg-leg penguins while we were walking around.
Of course, because it's Canada.
Yeah, and we went to a coffee shop, and I bought him a coffee. And he's like, "This is good. You should try this." And I took a little. See, you already know what's going to happen, but I took a drink and didn't. I was this close to swallowing, And he's like, "It's Nutella coffee." I'm like, "What?" I actually said what. I managed to say what through the coffee in my mouth, and then I ran to the bathroom and spit it out. And then I don't know, half a minute later, everywhere it touched swelled up.
Yeah, and I wasn't there. I didn't get to go to Buffer that year because I didn't get my passport updated. But you apparently had a pretty bad allergic reaction. You didn't end up having to go to the hospital, I think only because you didn't swallow any of it. But you had a fairly bad allergic reaction.
Pretty bad.
And then I was in Chicago hanging out with Jake and Eliza, and I get a text message first from Mike Falzone saying, like, "I'm sorry I almost killed your husband," or something. And I was like, what? And then I get text messages from you saying that you had an allergic reaction, but that you were okay. But the very first thing that I saw was him apologizing for almost killing you.
Yeah, it wasn't, it was a pretty bad reaction. It wasn't, if I would have swallowed it, I probably would have had breathing problems, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But a good thing I didn't swallow it. But I did get, like, kind of a stomach ache. It did get a slight breathing problem, like very minor. Like,
yeah, we think you are probably fairly allergic to hazelnuts.
Fairly badly allergic to hazelnuts.
Yeah, that's your first hazelnut experience.
Yeah. I'm allergic to all tree nuts, but different degrees of allergy to them. Like almonds and cashews, I think I would just get a stomach ache. Well, I would get like a swelling maybe from almonds, but I never have breathing problems with it. I've accidentally had it a few times.
Several times, yeah.
Cashews, stomach ache, and maybe a little more than stomach ache, if you know what I mean. but not breathing problems. Walnuts are terrible. Pine nuts are terrible. Apparently hazelnuts are terrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Craig. And Han says hi from Saudi Arabia. Hello.
Hi. Craig, someone in the YouNow chat asked if you have any pregnancy cravings.
Yeah, actually, I've been putting on the pounds.
Yeah. Because
of the baby that I'm carrying, helping carry.
Yeah, you're growing a baby.
Whew. Yes. Any other questions? We're almost at exactly an hour. of streaming right now. How do you think Mitzi is going to take the new baby? Mitzi is not taking the baby. We are keeping the baby.
Yeah, we're going to keep the baby.
Yes.
But she'll be around for it. How do you think she'll react to the baby being around?
Oh, you have a different question? How will she react?
Yeah, just totally separate question from the one that this person asked.
I think she'll be fine with it, but I'm a little worried we won't be paying as much attention to Mitzi.
That's my biggest concern is because I've heard from so many people who like just loved their pets before they had a baby, and they're like they didn't stop loving their pets necessarily, but your priorities completely change, and you just like can't care as much about them for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen because she's so good.
Adorable.
She's so good, and I'm worried that it will. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have a baby and we'll be like, Mitzi's not even human. We have this little cute thing that's human.
Well, I think that we will be like, we're going to be biologically, hormonally compelled to put this helpless little potato first.
Yeah, Mitzi's got a lot to compete with.
Yeah.
So,
but we're going to obviously keep taking good care of her.
Obviously.
And make sure that she is loved and everything, even if we have to force it at times. I think we should still try to make her priority when we can.
I'm pretty good at taking care of things, even if I don't love them. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was a babysitter.
Yeah. Sometimes you're taking care of other people's kids and you just, it's not there.
Yeah.
Obviously you're going to take good care of them and everything, but like, you just don't really care about them that much. They're not your kids. You got no attention to them whatsoever.
It's really a monetary relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, William McLeland asks, favorite planet? Saturn. Duh. Come on. Saturn. Of course. Pluto? It's not even a planet.
I know. I just feel so bad for it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. For me, it's Saturn. But my favorite name of a planet might be Jupiter.
Jupiter is really cool. And Jupiter's got that big storm.
And it's very big.
Stormy
it's just
spot.
It's the biggest planet.
Yeah. Mars is pretty cool. They're finding out all sorts of stuff
Mars
about
is pretty cool. It's a big sandbox. But come on.
There was water.
Yeah, whatever.
Before.
Whatever.
Listen. I love you.
I love you. Okay. First video you ever watched by me was the Banana Song when your brother showed it to you. Well, thank you, James Kennedy's brother, for the promotion. And there's two. I've done two Banana Song videos. I had one where it appeared, and then I did a full video that was the Banana Song.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm planning on doing a comedy album, guys.
Yeah, you are.
And I don't know if I'm going to have some classics on there. Banana Song will probably be on there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as excited about putting the old songs on the album. I want to make new songs.
Yeah, it's going to have to be like just a select few of like the best old songs.
Yeah.
Is the Gazebo song going to be on the album?
I don't think so. For a while I thought it would, but no, I feel like that's just better visually.
Yeah.
It's not as good. I don't think it'd be as good on an album.
Yeah, it's really not as good on an album. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's going to be on the album?
Well.
Do you have an idea of a couple of the old songs that might make it on?
Yes. Well, I have a list, and I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. I will let you.
Fine. But it's actually easier to look up probably on the computer because it's on Trello, and I don't have a Trello app on my phone right now.
Why don't you have a Trello app on
I
your
went
phone?
through a phase deleting apps, and I haven't gone to Trello in a while.
Ugh, deleting apps that you use.
Well, now I'm using it because I'm making a comedy album. Get off my case!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No pants, someone says. Again, I feel like that's better as a video, and also the lyrics are very timely. I'd have to change the lyrics. Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have a list of like all the songs. Oh yeah, one of them for sure I want to put on there that isn't on this list. Is the oh yeah, there it is. You Can't Do It, Just Stop, the demotivation song. I'm gonna write a fuller version of it. It only has like a verse and a chorus.
That is a spectacular song.
You can't do it, just stop. Pack your bags, move to Quit City. You can't do it, just stop. There's so many things to watch on TV. Everybody has dreams. Dreams are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? We have these. I just made a list of like all this Banana Song. There's This Is a Song. That might make it on there.
Mm-hmm. This Is a Song is a great song.
This is a song. This is a song. Everybody knows the words because I just said them all.
Yeah, that one should definitely be on there because that one you don't need any visuals to.
Yeah. Oh, I also was thinking of asking Quiet Clone to do a song. It would probably end up being like 2 minutes of silence, but that might be on there. Mm-hmm. That could be like the end song. It could be a bonus track.
I like that.
Yeah. There's Average Song, which is pretty good. I think I need to do a longer version of Average Song, probably exactly 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an average song. I don't remember how it goes, actually. Do you remember how it goes?
Writing it didn't even
take very long.
But it rhymes.
But it rhymes in 4/4 time.
Yeah.
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 But I came up with a couple of other ideas for new songs, such as like today I came up with one which would be like maybe like a hip hop song or like something like that where it's about bragging about how much money you have and how awesome you are, how much money you make, but then it ends up just being about wisely investing your money,
yeah,
investing in a Roth IRA and index funds and the amount of time it'll take to just have enough to retire, and live off your interest, stuff like that. I think that'll be a good one. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I came up with another one today, which would be entirely about trying to get Tom Hanks to be in the music video for that song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't steal my ideas, anybody, please. Thank you. I think we have to go. I have to go, actually.
Oh yeah, you do have to go.
I don't even think I have time to put this podcast up. I could bring it with me. Bring the laptop with me while they're color correcting and put it up.
And then just text me when it's up and I can promote it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how to put it up though, so you have to do that part.
Yeah, we'll have to teach you.
Nah. I'm unteachable.
I understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in,
y'all. This is very fun. There's 142 people watching on YouTube. There's 50 on YouNow. Jeez.
Yeah.
You guys, thanks for sticking around. We do this once a week. Ideally Friday or Thursday or Saturday.
Yeah, one of those 3 days, though.
Ideally, one of those three.
Yeah,
we should probably maybe have a regular schedule.
Well, eventually, hopefully, we will get to a regular schedule with live streaming and recording so that you guys know when to expect us.
And we know when to expect us.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, I'm gonna wink, and I want you to say ding, okay?
Okay. Can you tell me when? Because I can't see you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ding!
That was a real ding.